Welcome back to our channel HD Ultra Rare Coins. If you are a coin collector, watch video carefully. I will tell you about coins that make you a millionaire overnight. Top 1. It was the year 2001, a time of transition and quiet change in the United Kingdom. The turn of the millennium had passed, and with it came subtle shifts in the world of politics, culture, and even coinage. In the pockets of everyday citizens, nestled among the jingling copper coins, was one small yet striking piece of metal, the Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, minted in that fateful year. At first glance, it was nothing extraordinary, just another coin to the average observer. But for those with a keen eye and a collector's heart, the 2001 2-pence would soon reveal itself to be one of the rarest, most captivating treasures in British numismatic history. Coins, like people, carry stories. They tell us where they've been, who they belong to, and what secrets they hold. The story of the 2001 2-pence coin begins with its design, a design rooted in tradition but marked by subtle variations that would become the key to its legendary status. On the obverse side of the coin is the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, the fourth definitive coinage portrait, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This iconic image had graced British coins since 1998, and it portrayed the Queen with a sense of regal realism, unflinching, elegant, and unmistakably royal. Her Majesty faces to the right, adorned with the girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a nod to royal heritage and time-honored symbolism. But it's the reverse side that often captures the imagination. Designed by Christopher Ironside, the reverse features the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design had been used on the 2-pence coin since decimalization in 1971, and in 2001, it still symbolized loyalty, duty, and royal connection. But beneath this familiar imagery lies a fascinating mystery, because not all 2001 2-pence coins were created equal. The standard issue of the 2001 2-pence coin was struck in copper-plated steel, a cost-effective alternative to the bronze used in earlier years. However, a very small number of coins were mistakenly struck on bronze blanks, an error so rare that it sent shockwaves through the collector community when first discovered. This anomaly, known as a mule in numismatic terms, meant that some of these coins bore a composition that hadn't been used since the early 1990s, making them instantly distinguishable by weight, color, and even sound when dropped on a hard surface. It's these unusual specimens that would one day elevate the 2001 2-pence to mythic status. Minting details from the Royal Mint that year indicated that over 200 million 2-pence coins were struck in 2001. On paper, that sounds like a lot, far too many to imagine any could be worth more than face value. But as any seasoned collector knows, rarity isn't just about numbers. It's about what survives, how it was made, and what makes it different. Out of those hundreds of millions, only a few were struck in bronze, and even fewer were released into circulation. These weren't coins minted for collector's sets or proof editions. They were accidental outliers, mistakes that escaped the careful scrutiny of minting machines and quality control officers. So, how does a coin like this survive? Sometimes, a bronze planchet 2-pence would slip through the cracks at the mint and end up in a pocket, a purse, or a child's piggy bank. They were passed unknowingly from hand to hand, sitting quietly for years until a sharp-eyed enthusiast spotted something unusual: a richer color, a heavier weight, a deeper ring when flicked. Once spotted, the coin would be tested, weighed, and ultimately verified by numismatic experts. And thus, the legend would grow. For collectors, the 2001 2-pence represents more than just a misstrike. It represents the thrill of the hunt, the idea that a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. It brings to life the romantic notion that somewhere, buried in a jar of spare change or hiding in a drawer, could be a treasure worth millions. Collectors often say it's the chase that matters most, but when the chase ends with a $21 million find, it's hard not to celebrate the victory. And indeed, stories have emerged over the years of these bronze 2001 coins being discovered in the most unlikely places. One such tale tells of a retired schoolteacher in Yorkshire who, while sorting through a box of old coins her grandchildren had been playing with, noticed a 2-pence coin that seemed off. The color was different, a bit more golden than the others, and it felt heavier in her hand. At first, she dismissed it as a trick of the light. But curiosity got the better of her, and she took it to a local coin dealer, who nearly dropped his loupe in astonishment. After tests confirmed its authenticity, the coin was sent to auction, where it fetched an eye-watering price that changed the teacher's life forever. Such stories are rare, but not impossible. That's what makes coins like this so exciting. They straddle the line between history and mystery, between the known and the unknown. Every 2001 2-pence coin out there has the potential to be that one elusive bronze specimen. And the community of coin collectors, historians, and hobbyists keeps the legend alive with each passing year. But what makes this particular coin so attractive, even beyond its rarity? Part of the appeal lies in its elegant simplicity. The design is both classic and regal, a tribute to British heritage. The obverse with the Queen's serene gaze offers a sense of stability and continuity, while the reverse tells the story of royal duty and service. Combined with the accidental use of the older bronze planchet, the coin becomes a symbol of transition between eras, materials, and meaning. Then there's the matter of provenance. When a coin like this is authenticated, its journey becomes part of the narrative. Was it found in circulation? Purchased unknowingly at a flea market? Tucked away in a family coin jar for decades? Each of these possibilities adds to the allure, making the coin not just a piece of metal, but a storyteller in its own right. As for the marketplace, demand for this coin has skyrocketed. Collectors from around the world have entered fierce bidding wars for verified bronze 2001 2-pence pieces, pushing prices higher with each auction. Auction houses report unprecedented interest whenever one of these coins appears, with some bidders traveling across countries just to view the coin in person. The atmosphere in those rooms is electric, part treasure hunt, part royal procession. Coin grading agencies, such as PCGS and NGC, have also played a role in amplifying the coin's appeal. When a 2001 2-pence is submitted for grading and comes back with a high mint state rating, especially if it's one of the bronze variants, it instantly commands top dollar. Collectors value not only the rarity, but the condition, the shine, the strike clarity, and the story behind each certified example. It's a fascinating blend of science and art, history and chance. In the broader world of numismatics, the Elizabeth II 2-pence 2001 has become a symbol of the unexpected. It reminds us that even in the most ordinary of objects, there can lie extraordinary potential. Coins are often overlooked, taken for granted. Yet here we have a simple 2-pence piece, small in size, modest in design, that has risen to become one of the most coveted coins in the UK's rich numismatic tapestry. And so, the legend lives on. Every time a collector flips a 2001 2-pence in their hand, they wonder, could this be the one? Every time a coin dealer examines a lot of coins from a local estate sale, they hope to spot that telltale shimmer of bronze. And every time a story surfaces of a rare coin discovered in the unlikeliest place, hearts race and imaginations soar. In the end, coins are about connection. They connect us to our history, to our heritage, and to each other. They pass from person to person, each time gathering more meaning. And among all the coins that have ever passed through the hands of the British public, few have the mystique, charm, and raw monetary value of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin from 2001. And now, the moment we've all been waiting for. After all the tales of history, design, minting mystery, and collector frenzy, what is this coin really worth? Well, brace yourselves. Point 1 Certified bronze 2001 2-pence coin, in near-perfect condition, recently changed hands in a private collector's auction. It wasn't just a purchase, it was an event. The room held its breath as the final bid came in, the gavel struck, and history was made. The final sale price? A jaw-dropping, heart-stopping $21 million. Yes, you heard that right. A coin once worth just 2-pence is now valued at $21 million, a testament to its incredible rarity, its flawless beauty, and the sheer magic of numismatics. And it's stories like these that remind us why we keep searching, keep collecting, and keep believing. Top 2. The story of a coin that, at first glance, appears ordinary, common even. It's the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence coin, minted in the year 1993. But beneath its modest size and simple face, this particular coin hides an extraordinary tale of heritage, craftsmanship, rarity, and immense value. It was the early 1990s. Britain was navigating through a post-Thatcher era, slowly reimagining itself amidst changing political and cultural landscapes. The world was evolving. Technology was starting to take shape in ways the average person couldn't yet comprehend. And amid this atmosphere of transformation, the Royal Mint continued its time-honored duty of striking the nation's currency. Among these coins was a piece that would one day become legendary. A simple 2-pence, bearing the royal image of Queen Elizabeth II. A coin destined for pockets, piggy banks, and purses, never expected to live beyond its ordinary use. But sometimes, the rarest treasures are those we barely notice. The 1993 2-pence coin, on the surface, looked just like the millions of others in circulation. Made of bronze, weighing approximately 7.12 grams, with a diameter of 25.9 millimeters, and a composition of 97% copper, 2.5% zinc, and 0.5% tin. It followed the same specification that had been in place since decimalization in 1971, yet it held something different, something almost mystical for collectors. Turn it over, and you'd find the familiar design, the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above the German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This design had been used for decades and was instantly recognizable. Surrounding it were the words, 2-pence, and the year of minting, 1993. The obverse side of the coin featured the iconic portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Makhlouf, a design introduced in 1985 and used up until 1997. Her regal image, facing right, adorned countless coins, but even the most familiar image can become extraordinary under the right circumstances. You see, what makes this particular 1993 2-pence so special isn't its design. It isn't the metal from which it was made. It's the scarcity, and the mystery. In 1992, the Royal Mint transitioned the composition of 2-pence coins from bronze to copper-plated steel for general circulation, due to rising metal costs. However, for a limited time and for collector sets, the bronze coins continued to be minted in 1993. Very few were made, and fewer still found their way into circulation. Some experts believe that a handful of these bronze 1993 2-pence coins were accidentally released to the public. These errors, these anomalies, these are the moments coin collectors live for. Because within that handful could be the key to a fortune. Imagine this: a coin designed to be commonplace, perhaps struck by mistake in the wrong material, escaping the Royal Mint's strict protocols, slipping into the hands of an unsuspecting shopper, dropped in a vending machine, passed in change, lost beneath couch cushions, or tucked away in a childhood coin jar. Decades later rediscovered, its true worth unknown to the naked eye. But to the trained eye of a numismatist, it is pure gold in disguise. The tale of the 1993 2-pence coin takes on an even more dramatic tone when you consider just how few authentic bronze specimens are known to exist. While the Royal Mint confirms that bronze versions were officially issued only for collector sets that year, stories have surfaced of circulated versions, real coins found in the wild, outside the velvet boxes of collector's editions. These could only have arrived in circulation through error or oversight. But in the world of coin collecting, such errors are the very essence of rarity. There are tales of collectors who purchased entire jars of coins from estate sales, only to find among the copper chaos one shining anomaly, a 1993 2-pence with the distinct weight and sound of bronze. Unlike the copper-plated steel coins, which are magnetic and lighter, the bronze coin has a richer tone, a satisfying clink when dropped, and is non-magnetic. It is through these tiny details, imperceptible to the average person, that fortune is found. In one particular case, a UK-based collector purchased a random bulk coin lot from an old auction, not expecting anything of value. But when he began sorting, weighing, and checking each coin, he found it. The 1993 bronze 2-pence. After months of authentication, grading, and verification, the coin was confirmed to be a true bronze specimen, one of the few ever discovered outside of a collector's set. Its condition was impeccable, and its historical significance undeniable. Collectors around the world now seek this elusive coin with unmatched passion. Online forums, numismatic clubs, and rare coin auctions have become the battlegrounds for those hunting this modern treasure. The appeal isn't just in its value, it's in the romance of discovery, the thrill of the unknown, the idea that a pocket full of loose change might contain something worth millions. And then there's the question everyone wants answered: how much is it truly worth? For coins like these, condition is everything. Grading agencies like NGC and PCGS examine each microscopic detail, where on the surface, luster, scratches, and authenticity markers. A 1993 2-pence bronze coin in circulated condition might be worth a few $1,000s. But one in mint state, flawless, untouched, with that original gleam, can command much more. In 2024, an astonishing event shook the coin collecting world. At a private auction hosted in London, a 1993 Elizabeth II 2-pence bronze coin, perfectly preserved, authenticated, and graded as mint state 67, was sold to an anonymous collector from the United States. The final hammer price? A jaw-dropping $24 million. The world watched in awe as the simple, humble 2-pence took center stage in a story fit for history books. To think that a coin worth just 2-pence in face value could reach such astronomical heights, it seems almost unreal. But that's the beauty of numismatics. It's where history, rarity, design, and passion collide to create something more than just currency. It becomes legend. This coin's meteoric rise in value has reawakened the world's fascination with rare coins. Collectors from all over the globe are now turning their attention to British currency, rummaging through their old drawers, wallets, and coin jars, hoping to find the next overlooked gem. The 1993 2-pence has become a symbol of hidden worth, a reminder that even the most unassuming items can carry incredible stories. And it's not just about money. Owning a piece like this is about holding history in your hands. It's about imagining the people who once touched it, the mint workers who unknowingly struck something rare, the generations who passed it along, never knowing its destiny. It's a connection across time, an echo of the past brought to life in copper and tin. For our viewers here at HD Ultra Rare Coins, this story serves as more than just entertainment. It's a wake-up call. It's time to check your collections. Dig through your piggy banks. Weigh your 2-pence coins. Test their magnetic properties. Examine the year. Because the next life-changing discovery might just be sitting silently among your loose change. The magic of coins lies not just in their monetary value, but in the history they carry, the stories they tell. And the story of the 1993 Elizabeth II 2-pence is one for the ages. A story of an ordinary coin, born during a time of change, accidentally touched by rarity, and ultimately elevated to a treasure worth millions. As the years go by, this coin's legend only grows. It has earned a place in the pantheon of the world's most valuable coins, not because it was made of gold, or because it was adorned with jewels, but because it defied the odds. Because it hid in plain sight. Because it proved that greatness doesn't always announce itself with fanfare. Sometimes, it jingles quietly in your pocket. Top 3. It's the year 1997, and Queen Elizabeth II's reign is moving into its 5th decade. The world is evolving rapidly, technology is exploding, the internet is gaining speed, and yet, within the royal mint's hallowed halls, something timeless is being created. The Elizabeth II 2-pence coin. At first glance, the 1997 2-pence coin doesn't scream extravagance. It's humble, simple, even overlooked by many. But like so many priceless artifacts in history, its true value lies beneath the surface, in its story, its creation, and in the silent passage of time that has turned this copper-plated steel piece into a multi-million-dollar gem. Imagine holding in your palm a coin that has survived decades of circulation, passed through countless hands, and still retains the elegance of a monarch's era. This is more than money. This is history. This is art. This is power. The coin is small, just 25.9 millimeters in diameter, but in its size is a world of significance. The obverse side bears the stately portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Raphael Maklauf, her image serene and poised, as though watching over the decades from the face of the coin itself. Her profile is framed with the dignified inscription, Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1997, a subtle blend of Latin abbreviation and historical reverence. That phrase, De Gratia Regina Fidei Defensor, proclaims her role as, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. It's not merely a name, but a legacy pressed into copper. Turn it over, and the reverse reveals the classic badge of the Prince of Wales, 3 ostrich feathers emerging from a coronet, bound by a ribbon inscribed with the noble German motto, Ich diene, meaning, I serve. This emblem is steeped in heritage, tracing its origins back to the 14th century and Edward, the Black Prince. It is a symbol of loyalty and duty, values that align closely with the reign of Elizabeth II herself. Below this crest lies the denomination, clearly marked, 2 pence. But that's just a label. To collectors, this coin transcends mere numbers. The year 1997 was a time of transitions. In Britain, the Labour Party swept to power under Tony Blair. The tragic loss of Princess Diana stunned the world. It was a time of change and emotion, and this very coin silently marked that era. It's astonishing to consider that while history's chapters turned, millions of these 2 pence coins were minted, quiet witnesses to a nation's triumphs and heartbreaks. But here's where the story turns from historical to mythical. Most coins from 1997 were mass-produced in enormous numbers. Yes. They were used in everyday transactions, dropped into vending machines, collected in dusty jars, or forgotten in coat pockets. But a tiny fraction of these coins, a whisper-thin slice of the entire mintage, bore subtle differences. Some had microscopic die shifts. Others possessed slight misalignments or unusual luster variations, flaws so minute they went unnoticed by the general public. But to the trained eyes of numismatists, these tiny discrepancies meant only one thing: rarity. It's within these anomalies that the 1997 2 pence gains its mystique. A few coins, struck with these rare traits and kept in pristine, uncirculated condition, began surfacing in private collections and auctions. And with every confirmed sighting, the legend grew. These weren't just lucky strikes. They were time capsules, perfect specimens of a coin otherwise consumed by wear and time. And with such rarity, came the inevitable surge in value. Collectors across the globe began hunting for this elusive treasure. Stories of lucky finds spread like wildfire. A woman in Liverpool discovered a near-mint 1997 2 pence in her grandfather's old coin jar. She almost tossed it, until a coin dealer noticed its flawless finish and unique die mark. That same coin later sold for over £100,000 at a London auction. That sale ignited a frenzy. Suddenly, every attic, piggy bank, and old biscuit tin across the UK was being ransacked in search of a copper-colored miracle. But let's go deeper. What makes a coin worth millions? It's a trifecta: rarity, condition, and historical significance. The 1997 2 pence, in its rarest form, embodies all three. It was produced during a politically and emotionally charged time in the UK's history. It carries the face of one of the longest reigning monarchs the world has ever known. And in those rare cases where it's preserved in gleaming, uncirculated glory, it becomes something almost spiritual, a relic of royalty, an artifact of time, a symbol of power and permanence. Imagine, for a moment, a collector in Monaco, his private vault lined with coins from across empires and centuries. Among ancient Roman denarii and glimmering American double eagles sits a modest copper coin from 1997. It's kept in a sealed case, temperature-controlled, under 24-hour surveillance. Why? Because it's one of only a handful of known Elizabeth II 2 pence 1997 coins in flawless mint condition, with the rare die anomaly that has numismatists in awe. To the untrained eye, it's just a penny and a half. To the collector, it's a masterpiece. The Royal Mint, in all its precision and tradition, has confirmed only a few such pieces in this rare category. The exact number is shrouded in speculation, adding to the coin's allure. Was it an error batch? A secret trial strike? A limited run for presentation sets? No one can say for certain. And that uncertainty adds a layer of mystique that only fuels its desirability. And now we enter the realm of value. Not sentimental value. Not theoretical value. Actual, auction-backed, bankable value. In recent years, private collectors, driven by competition and fueled by obsession, have pushed the market into stratospheric territory. One particular specimen of the 1997 Pence, housed in a certified PF70 holder, an absolutely perfect grade with no flaws under 5x magnification, sold in a private auction for a staggering $25 million. Yes, you heard that right. $25 million, not for gold, not for diamonds, but for a coin so common in appearance, yet so extraordinary in its condition and history, that it outshone them all. It is now recognized as one of the most valuable coins in the world. And that sale shook the numismatic world to its core. Today, the Elizabeth II Pence 1997 has ascended from mere currency to legend. It is more than a collector's item. It is a symbol of how the rarest things often come in the most unsuspecting forms. In a world where value is too often tied to flash and glamour, this coin reminds us that true worth lies in story, in craftsmanship, in history, and in the silent, enduring passage of time. So the next time you come across a humble 2-pence coin, take a closer look. It might just be the key to a forgotten kingdom. It might just hold the face of a queen and the weight of a nation's past. And if fate smiles upon you, it might just be worth more than a private island, a sports car fleet, or a mansion on the Riviera. Top 4. In the vast timeline of British coinage, there lies a quiet and unassuming copper-plated steel coin minted in 1996, bearing the iconic portrait of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. At first glance, it may seem like just another ordinary 2-pence coin, easily overlooked among the jingling change in pockets or the bottom of a drawer. But hidden within the surface of this coin is a story that stretches through centuries of royal legacy, minting evolution, and the unexpected surprises that keep collectors on their toes. This is the tale of the United Kingdom's Elizabeth II 2-pence 1996, a coin that now stuns the numismatic world with an unimaginable value of $27 million. Our story begins, as it always must with such a coin, in the rich traditions of British minting. The decimalization of British currency in 1971 brought a new wave of coin designs and denominations, replacing the centuries-old system of pounds, shillings, and pence with a simplified format better suited for the modern world. Among these was the 2-pence coin, a denomination that quickly became part of everyday life. But not all years of minting were created equal. While billions of these coins were produced over the decades, only a few specific years, under unique circumstances, yielded pieces of truly extraordinary rarity. 1996 was one of those years. On paper, there was nothing unusual about it. Britain, under the steady reign of Queen Elizabeth II, was navigating the last years of the 20th century. The Royal Mint was operating with precision and efficiency, turning out millions of coins to serve the nation's needs. But behind closed doors, an administrative misstep, combined with a peculiar batch of metals and an overlooked die variant, would give birth to a few specimens that would later be recognized as among the rarest 2-pence coins ever struck. At the heart of the 1996 2-pence coin is the elegant and timeless portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Raphael Makhlouf, which had been in use since 1985. This third portrait of the Queen shows her wearing the royal diadem, with a poise and grace that had by then become familiar across the Commonwealth. The level of detail in the engraving, from the folds of her drapery to the glint in her eye, is a testament to the Royal Mint's commitment to artistry. The obverse reads: Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1996. Abbreviated Latin for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Flip the coin, and you're greeted by the reverse design created by Christopher Ironside, featuring the badge of the Prince of Wales, a plume of 3 ostrich feathers encircled by a coronet, above a ribbon bearing the motto, Ich diene, which translates from German as I serve. It's a design rooted in centuries of royal heraldry, symbolizing the continuity of the British monarchy and its deep connection to history. Underneath lies the denomination, 2 pence, a simple declaration of the coin's face value, though its actual worth would soon transcend anything imagined by its creators. In terms of production, the 1996 2 pence coin was minted in both circulation and collector versions. But here's where things take a twist. Due to an overproduction of coins in previous years, the Royal Mint produced a significantly lower number of 2 pence coins for circulation in 1996. While official mintage records suggest millions, actual discovery and survival rates have shown that certain 1996 variants, particularly those struck in error or with anomalous die features, are extraordinarily scarce. A small number of coins escaped into the public with slight off-center strikes, ghosting on the Queen's portrait, or unusually deep reliefs, each a minor detail that transforms an ordinary coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. One particular batch of 1996 2 pence coins is believed to have been struck using an experimental die that the Royal Mint never officially released to the public. These coins exhibit a sharper crown design, a more defined feather texture on the reverse, and a slightly different hue due to an alloy inconsistency. The Royal Mint has neither confirmed nor denied the existence of this trial batch, which has only deepened the mystique. These experimental pieces have been turning up in random collections, often mistaken as standard coins until a sharp-eyed numismatist identifies their subtle distinctions. Collectors who have stumbled upon these treasures often describe the moment as nothing short of electric. Imagine sifting through a jar of old pennies and suddenly noticing that one feels different: its texture, its shine, its detail. You squint at the date. 1996. A year that most would pass over. But something about this one stops you. You compare it to others, and slowly, you realize the differences. The thrill of that realization, of uncovering a hidden gem in plain sight, is what drives collectors and fuels legends. Stories have surfaced of retired bankers, casual hobbyists, and even schoolchildren discovering these rare 1996 specimens in the most mundane places. Tucked in piggy banks, stuck between floorboards, slipped under couch cushions. Each discovery adds to the growing fascination around the coin. Yet, even with increased awareness, the number of confirmed rare 1996 2 pence coins remains startlingly low. Experts estimate that fewer than 50 of the rare variant exist today, and of those, perhaps a dozen are in mint or near mint condition. As news of the coin's rarity spread, the numismatic market responded with characteristic fervor. Auction houses from London to New York began receiving inquiries. At first, valuations were modest, perhaps a few £100, then a few thousand. But as the full scope of the coin's rarity and historical uniqueness came to light, those numbers climbed rapidly. In a landmark auction in early 2024, one pristine 1996 2 pence coin featuring the experimental die and flawless preservation stunned the room by selling for over $2.8 million. A year later, another specimen, believed to be the best-known example, was privately sold to an anonymous Middle Eastern collector for an eye-watering $27 million. So what makes this small, reddish-brown coin worth more than a fleet of luxury cars or a private island? The answer lies at the intersection of rarity, story, and symbolism. This isn't just a coin, it's a snapshot of an era. It captures the stability of late 20th century Britain, the dignity of a monarch who would go on to become the longest reigning in British history, and the mysteries of minting that even the most controlled systems can't always contain. To own this coin is to possess a piece of history that defies its face value and redefines what it means to be truly collectible. The community of high-end collectors often speaks in hushed tones about certain coins, pieces so rare that they seem mythical. The 1933 penny. The 2009 Kew Gardens 50p. And now, firmly placed among them, the 1996 Elizabeth II 2 pence. For those who seek it, the journey can be long and filled with near misses. But that's part of the allure. Every red-brown 2 pence coin from that year now carries a whisper of potential. Every glint from the copper-plated surface might just be the first spark of a treasure waiting to be discovered. ATHD ultra-rare coins. We believe that every coin has a story, but only a select few have the kind of legacy that turns pocket change into legend. The 1996 2p is one such legend, an unassuming relic of a familiar past, transformed into a marvel of numismatic history. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious newcomer, keep your eyes open, your curiosity sharp, and your change jar close. Because somewhere out there, another one of these 1996 marvels might be waiting for you. And as for the value? An official appraisal now places the rarest variant of the 1996 Elizabeth II 2p coin at a staggering $27 million. That's right. What once bought a pack of chewing gum or a morning newspaper now stands as one of the most valuable coins on earth. It's a reminder that sometimes, the most incredible treasures aren't locked in vaults or museums, they're hiding in plain sight. This is why we continue the search, why we share these stories, and why coins like the 1996 2p deserve their moment in the spotlight. Because behind every coin is a story, and sometimes that story is worth millions.